Yo, people, what you telling me back again for another Red Talk? Saeed, what you telling me, bro?
Yo, what's good, man? What's good, man? I'm blessed. Can't complain, man. You know what I mean? Weather's nice. Life is good. And yeah, man. Can't complain, bro. We're just chilling, waiting for the Mbeumo announcement. You know that one. It's been a month. It's been a month, friends. But we're waiting. But how are you, man? How are you? How's life?
I'm good. Can't complain, bro. That's what I mean. The sun's out. I mean,
Yeah.
had a good boxing session this morning. So
Come on.
yeah, bro, I'm good, man. Man's feeling good. Man's relaxed. And yeah, bro,
Yeah.
we're just waiting for shit to happen. You get,
bro? Bro, they said the medical this week, you know. I'm onto that Ben Jacobs, you know, because he's had a good little year so far in the transfer window. Got some things right, but bro, he's on fraud watch this week, man. If I don't see no medical this week, then he was chatting rubbish. You know that one. So
I hear it.
Man, it's one of them, man. It's a waiting game, bro. Like I get it, yeah. Financial year, you know what I mean. The books reset, everything like that, yeah. But boy, come on, man. Like surely you get this over the line, man. You know what I mean? Especially when a player's told you, I want to come to you lot. Like there ain't no competition. Competition's out the window. You know what I mean? Everyone was out. It's just literally exclusive to Man United, bro. That's all it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I get it, yeah. You know, in the past we've been cooked in it with the transfers in it. But this one here, it's a case of Brentford have made their stance. This is what they want. This is what they're asking for. You know what I mean? I don't think for me personally it takes this long to sort it out. But then again, it is nitty-gritty in it now. It's all about, I think more so now, it's not about the transfer fee. It's more what's paid up front.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the structure of the deal. It's not the fee.
Yeah.
Like we've agreed to pay them what they want, but they want more achievable add-ons. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is what it is. They're saying that they want to walk away from the deal with a minimum of a certain amount. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is what it is. So because of that, I understand why it's taking so long, but also we have to give United credit here for not just caving and just saying, oh, Tottenham offered 70, just give them 70. Nah, bro. Like, you're still Brentford, innit? So we're gonna negotiate. And we're gonna get favorable terms for us. We're not just gonna give you an extra 10 million because you want it, bro. Like, allow it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm cool. Like, when you know that the player wants to play for you, there's no competition anymore because we've blown them out the water. Do you know what I mean? Because he's come out and said he don't want to go nowhere else. So now Brentford have to do business with us. They ain't got a choice. So,
bro, to be honest with you, he's come out and listen. He might be lying in it, but he's come out saying, "Yo, Mbeumo's happy to also stay as well." You know what I mean?
No, but Mbeumo's not saying that. The guy can say
no. He's the guy. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's making us
say what he wants. Mbeumo hasn't said that. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Mbeumo wants to leave, and not only does he want to leave, he wants to play for Manchester United. It's not a thing where he just wants to go anywhere. He wants to play for us. He could have gone to Tottenham. Tottenham were offering more money than us.
So now, you know what it is for me? I hear the whole, you know what I mean, you're Brentford and that, but to be honest with you, they've made a stance in it. They've said, yo, listen, this is what we're after. Yeah, I mean, if you know the price is what's been set and Brentford haven't budged and you've waited 4 weeks, would you not look at this and be like, hold on a minute, you've knew the price? Yeah, cool, the add-ons and whatnot, they're the ones that are stopping the deal. But the actual price of where we're at right now, if we haven't come to that agreement, it looks like Man United have kind of wasted 4 weeks for no reason because it's
I don't think so. I don't.
You don't think so like that? If they knew the price, if they knew
but it's not about. But Saeed, it's not about the price. It's about how we're structuring the deal. One thing about Ineos, yeah, that people need to give them credit for is how the deals have been structured for incomings and outgoings. Do you know what I'm saying? We're gonna make a lot of money on outgoings because they've structured deals in a way that we're getting sell-ons. We're getting all of these things done. And I think we have to have the same patience when we're doing deals to get players in, bro. We want to pay less upfront. We want to stagger payments because it means that we can do more business quicker with PSR in place. Do you know what I mean? The less you actually pay upfront and the more years you amortize the deals over, it means that you can bring in more players quickly. And it looks like they want to bring in 5 or 6 in a window. And if you want to bring in 5 or 6 in a window and we don't have the ability, the spending power that Chelsea and City have, or even Liverpool, because Liverpool missed a few windows, didn't really spend any money. So because we don't have that spending power, like apparently we can only spend about 250 million. So if we can only spend about 250 million and we're buying players for 60 and stuff, then we have to try and be smart and only pay
I agree.
5 up front. Do you know what I mean? Or we blow all our money and then we're relying on sales. And what happens if we don't get the sales and we can only get loans? Then all of a sudden we're fucked. Do you know what I mean? So we have to protect ourselves as well.
I don't think we're overpaying for Mbeumo though. When you look at the market right now, I actually don't think 60 million is overpaying for Mbeumo anyway.
No way.
So I don't think that, you know what I mean, if United were thinking they were getting moved to and Brentford were trying to do whatever, I don't think they are. Like, look at Pedro, he's gone for 55 million. Gittins has gone for 55
million. Pedro's gone for 55.
Yeah.
My man, bro, they turned down 45 for a Langer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're going to want at least 55 for a Langer. And if a Langer's worth 55, then Mbeumo's worth 80. You know them ones. Like, this is the reality. Like, when we're looking at what we're paying, it's still a very reasonable price, bro.
No, I agree. That's why I'm not one of them United fans that are saying walk away from the deal. Because I don't think, for me, you get a better player for the price right now that's shown in the Premier League he can do what he can do. Scored 20 goals last season. Been very effective for Brentford over the years. Like, I don't think you can go away like that. There isn't many options, and B, it's not as, for me, like, as secured as what you're going to get with Mbeumo right now.
But this is why Brentford are doing the right thing and Man United are doing the right thing. Because think about it. Brentford may never get another player that they can sell for 60 million again, bro. Do you know what I mean? They lost Ivan Toney on the cheap. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't do it correctly. And in the end, Saudi paid how much? Like 40 odd or something. They didn't.
Yeah, around about 35 million. Yeah,
35. Like, but you see what I'm saying? And Ivan Toney was worth way more than that, but they let the contract run down. So now they've lost their manager on the cheap. I think he only went for like 10 million. They lost Norgard on the cheap. They have to rinse this Mbeumo thing. They have to, because it's their last opportunity to kind of rebuild this squad after losing the manager. So they have to give the new manager some money.
They're also looking at the market as well. They realize we spent money on Cunha. You know what I mean? And they're looking for similar amount of money. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not saying they're similar players, because I feel like Cunha is a bit more talented. But with Mbeumo, he's gonna get you more goals and he's gonna be a bit more efficient. You feel me? So they're looking at it from their point of view. This is why I'm not going mad at Brentford. There's a lot of people that are going mad at Brentford saying, "Oh, they're doing what they're supposed to do." Yeah, but United are doing what they're meant to do. The only thing is, for me, it's like, we need to move on. You know what I mean? We ain't got no time, Rants. You know what I'm saying? If he's taking you, okay, cool. You could be very, very, you know, you want to be a good negotiator, is cool. You want to do things right, cool. But time isn't in our side, Rants. We got 6 weeks left to the season. Ideally, I would like that season.
Saeed, I'm not worried. You know the reason why I'm not worried is because we all know here that deals can be done like that. Like, even with think about it. Look at Ugarte deal. Ugarte deal dragged. We knew we were getting Ugarte like 6 weeks before it happened. Mazraoui and De Ligt was the same. We knew we were getting Mazraoui and De Ligt. We had to wait a month for them because we had to wait for money to come in. But the deal was done. Like, the actual structure of the deal was done. But when we handed the money over, it took a bit longer, bro. I believe Man United have other deals already lined up. And
see, that's what I'm gonna lie to you.
I think they have.
I think differently. I'm the opposite. I think once Cunha and Mbeumo come in, a lot of it's going to be down to sales, and a lot of it, for me, I'm not gonna lie, there's not as concrete kind of signings that we're after. It's more a case of we're kind of almost inquiring at the minute. You feel me? They ain't like, you know, this is our person we want to get. We're gonna go and get him. Whereas I think with Cunha and Mbeumo, they know who they're gonna get. I feel like after that, I feel like Man United are kind of a bit lost as to where to go.
I don't think we're lost. I believe we've got a list, Saeed, and it depends on not necessarily the funds, because the funds will be there, but it depends on how much the player wants to play for us. Like, for instance, like GYOKERES, the GYOKERES situation, I believe that the manager wants GYOKERES, but I believe that the club aren't really sold on him for the price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I that's why I think it's a bit like this. I still think there's a possibility he ends up at Man United, but that's only if we like the price that he's available for. Or I could see him end up at Juventus. I could really see that. So when I'm looking at GYOKERES thing, it's like that. And I also believe that these links with Ollie Watkins now are a middle finger to to Sporting because they're fucking
yeah.
about.
But you need to do that though.
Yeah, but you need to do that. Remember, it was Ekatike before, and now it looks like Ekatike. It's gone quiet. They're saying that he might be negotiating with Liverpool, but again, that's gone quiet. I believe all these things are to let Sporting know that we're not waiting on them. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're not set on GYOKERES. We're not set on him. It's clear. We're set on Mbeumo. We were set on Cunha. We're not set on GYOKERES. Like, there's definitely people at the club that ain't fussed if we get him or not. That's why we're negotiating, or at least we're inquiring about other players. I believe in midfield it's the same. I believe there's a multitude of targets. Ricard Rios now we're getting linked with very strongly. I'm a big fan of him as a footballer. So if we get him, amazing, yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But then there's links with Douglas Luiz, there's links with Polina, which have gone quiet. But I don't think there's one concrete midfielder that they've all agreed that we must get. So I think it could be anyone. Do you get it? That's what it is. I don't think they're set on these players, but I believe that players from these positions do come in.
I do think it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing as well, because if you've got a particular style or kind of way you're playing, you do need to have your set mind on a particular midfielder. Or I get it, you need to have a kind of a database of what you're trying to get, and then you get the best tool. But I do believe you need to have the kind of almost mindset. What kind of midfielder you're looking for? Look at Arsenal, Zubimendi, Man City, Reinders. You still need to have a vision of what sort of player you're looking at. You know what I mean? What sort of stuff?
But Rios and Douglas Luiz are they're ball players, both of them. They can both play.
Yeah. That's the sort of profile we need to really be looking at, especially for me, Richard Rios. I think with Watkins, it could be a smokescreen. It could be one of them where, we're really after this player here, but you're taking your time here, so we've got better options, So really and truly, if you don't really make your mind up, or you don't sort out what you're trying to do, then we're going to really go down this angle. You know what I mean? But I do believe it's a domino effect. I think Arsenal hold the keys to the transfer window. I said it before. Once they make their move as to who they're going to get in terms of upfront or striker, it will be a domino effect as to what happens after, because I feel like then it's like a case of
I think it's Sesko, but it's one of them ones. I don't even think it's an Arsenal thing. I think when I look at the window right now, GYOKERES, like, he thought he was going to have more options than he actually has. I believe Juventus are the club that want him the most, but he don't really want to go there. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it seems like, because Juve seem like they're trying everything to get rid of Vlahovic. Everything. Yeah. And they do want GYOKERES. Arsenal ain't fussed with GYOKERES. Literally yesterday it was Arsenal in talks with GYOKERES, and then literally the same day it was like, nah, there ain't no advanced talks, man. I ain't chatting to that guy. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just don't think anyone wants GYOKERES apart from Amorim, bro, like that. I'll be real. That's just what it looks like, man. If you actually look at it deeply, because when's the last time a player with his numbers, has had so little interest? It's not really making sense.
You know what it is? You're right. Like, obviously Juventus now have gone for Jonathan David, so I don't know if they're set on what they have right
but
there.
He's on a free anyway. So
he's on a free, true. He's on a free anyway.
They can still sign someone.
Juventus them Italian teams are that broke, they would go, they're happy to go down that route, innit? You feel me? But we have to wait and see what happens there. But Barcelona kind of set, like, I feel like right now, if you don't need it, you don't need to buy it, basically. Unless you really need it, and unless you're really, really after a striker, then don't really go down that route. And now everybody's trying to do the fluidity thing, isn't it? Everyone's trying to play like not really a striker. We'd rather go with a false nine, or we'd rather go with a winger there, and then we just create this kind of dynamic trio. That's where maybe people are trying to go down that route. So for me, with GYOKERES, bro, like, he's got proper issues because they don't actually know what his actual release clause is, and they can't, for some reason.
Apparently, they're saying the release clause is like 80, but he had an agreement that he could leave for 60. That's what 60, they're saying. Yeah. They're saying he could leave for 51 million pounds, which is like 60 million euros. But that's what they done to Harry Kane. Remember when man said to Kane he could go Man City, and the man said, "Yeah, bro, fuck that, bro. Fuck the gentleman's decision. I'm not a gentleman. Fuck the agreement." You know them way there. Like, this is what they're doing.
Stayed the extra year, didn't he? Yeah. But he I don't know if GYOKERES can able to do that, because, like I said, man, football it works in mysterious ways, man. You could be having unbelievable season, and then the next season, you know what I mean, nobody wants you, man. I remember Vlahovic was the same thing, bro. He was scoring goals, and now look at him, like, not really many clubs are looking at for him. So it comes down to, for me, it's like, once they figure it out in that aspect there, that's when I think United will kind of move on to the striker. I think for me, I would start the midfield out first.
I don't think strikers urgent for us, bro.
Yeah, it's not urgent. No, I agree.
Because Mbeumo can play there. I think the striker comes in once we sell Garnacho, move Rashford.
Yes, move them players on. Yeah,
move them players on. Then we go get the striker. I think the striker comes in towards the end of the window. That's why I think they're laying the foundations. I believe there is a possibility it could be GYOKERES, but it's gonna be that shit's gonna be in August, mate. You know that one's it's gonna be in August.
Signing when they unveil him at Old Trafford and that, and then they kind of say, "Yo, this is our new number 9," because they do love an unveiling, innit? You know what I mean? Like every year there's some sort of unveiling, whether you think they're not great or not, man. They want to unveil it to the fans in it just to kind of get them excited for the season. You know what I mean? But it's getting rid of the players, bro, that we've got, man. I think Anthony and Sancho are the only really ones that have concrete kind of moves.
they've got real offers, you know what I'm saying?
Real offers, bro.
Yeah.
The rest of them, like, no one's coming in for them. Like, Rashford can go and dream, and say, yo, I want to play for Barcelona.
They're talking about Bayern Munich now.
Bayern Munich, boy, man.
But that's going to be a loan as well, bro, because he's got 3 years left. I didn't realize he had so many
3 years left, man. Yeah.
Bro.
3
We're not
years
selling
left,
him this year. That's a loan with but bro, even Villa had a loan with an option. They didn't uptake that option. We need to get an obligation because as soon as people see Rashford up close, they don't want him. You know what I mean?
Bro, they don't want him. Obviously, the wages are a big thing, but it's the fact that now he's starting to say that he's more of a striker as well. He's starting to say, oh, you know what? I do prefer playing kind of finishing my career up front. That's why really at the start he used him as a winger, Emery, but then realized shit, he's not really effective on the wing. Then played him up front. You know what I mean? And he displaced, I think, Watkins for the Champions League games.
Yeah, but he wasn't scoring though.
Yeah, he wasn't scoring. Yeah, I know.
And he's not a facilitator, so Rashford up front not scoring goals is a problem because you need to be able to facilitate.
Yeah, and I feel like now, because like I said to you, he's lost that explosiveness and he's not really effective on the left-hand side. I look at it and I'm like, hold on a minute, what's he really going to offer? And right now, at this minute, you can say to yourself, right, I want to go here and I want to go there, but yeah, I mean, like, loan, it doesn't really kind of favor us. Yes, it releases our wages for a bit, but we're going to pay at least a good amount, maybe. Personally, like for the club to take on that wages, 300 grand a week, it's a lot, man. For a player that you're not guaranteed to go and sign.
We'll end up paying a percentage of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, someone like Bayern can afford to pay like 200k of his wages. You know, the ones they can afford to pay 200k, and then we'll end up having to just firm the 100 in it. But it's
firm the 100. Facts.
It's probably should have never given him that money in the first place. And this is what I'm saying: the previous regime are holding back the new regime, and that's why people have to be patient. Same with Jadon Sancho. Like, Sancho was one of the best young players in Europe when we signed him, but we should have never put him on 250k because he couldn't have been on much at Dortmund. At Dortmund, he would have probably been on about 50 bags or something. So why did we need to give him 250? We never needed to. We could have brought this guy in on a 120 and said, yo, like, boom, you play and then perform and then we up your wages, bro. Like, why do we do that?
But you know what it is, though, bro? It's because we chased him for 2 years. That's what it was. And you know, when if I'm chasing you, bro, that means I value you. I want you. I'm like, bro, like, we're the only real club that was in from. Like, Barcelona were in from. I think Liverpool had some links as well. But the problem is with us, when we were chasing him, a lot of it came down to, right, we're going to offer you some big wages. Like, it weren't really the project. Yeah, the project at the time was that Ollie was there and he had Pogba and them, man. Like, cool, he was there. But Ollie weren't a guy to tell you, I'm going to win the league. I'm going to take it to the next level. You feel me? And the club at the time, like I said to you, we're using wages as almost that feeling of, yo, come to us and we can give you this. And unfortunately, and listen, it's just nature of life, bro. I'm going to take that 250 at 21. Of course.
Yeah, you're never going to say no to that.
You know what I mean, bro? It doesn't matter what you think of in 3-4 years. At 21, I'm taking that. And then all of a sudden, you see Ronaldo, you see Pogba, you see Martial. You know what? Okay, cool. Manchester United at the time, don't get me wrong, we were bad, but we weren't finishing like where we're finishing right now, 8th, 7th, 15th, and that. I remember that time, I think Ollie had finished 3rd, I think, or something like that, 2nd, 3rd, around there. He weren't really finishing in bad position. I think the lowest he finished was probably 4th or something like that. But in that season there, we were meant to kick on. I feel like that season is when United thought, okay, cool, this is maybe a club that can go an extra level here. And it was a good move, man. Like, you know, remember Santander and that. Remember when he was saying, "Yo, United," right? It was one of them where it's like, yo, like at the time it was something, but that's it right now. It's our past is kind of hurting us right now. The sins of our past, bro.
But this is why I think that people need to be patient and not blame the current situation on mistakes that were made before. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people need to be balanced. Like, the reason why we can't get rid of all these players is because they're all on too much wages. Do you know what I mean? Rashford, Antony, and Sancho, their wages are above 200k. That's why we can't get rid of them. Like, it's not because these guys are not trying, bro. Do you know what I mean? None of these men are worth over 200k wages, bro. Like, you got players, you've got players like Luis Diaz and these guys that have won Premier Leagues and so on. We've got men at City that have won trebles, and these men are not on what Sancho's on. They're not on what Antony's on. They're not on what Rashford's on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Like, it's mental to think. It's actually mental to think, the money that these men are on, when really in the last 3 years they haven't really contributed in a large way to what the club are doing. So it's difficult to move these guys on, bro. It is.
It is difficult, bro.
It's not easy still.
No, I agree, bro. I think it is difficult, man. And ultimately, right now, at this current stage, you know what I mean? Like, we're in a bit of a sticky situation, because it's like Højlund now, even moving him on is difficult. Onana, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's difficult when you know you buy these players on big money and they're not producing, and they've now got to move on. And it's like some of them, like Højlund now, he will stay. If he was to end his career at United, he would end his career at United, bro. Like, he's reached the pinnacle of his career. Like, after this, it's all over for him, bro. I'm being dead serious. I don't want to sound like
the only way is down. The only way is down for Rashford, bro. Like, out of all of them, Antony can still kick on, and,
of course he can.
And he's already kind of redeeming himself. Do you know what I mean? He's already showing people the player that Man United signed, didn't it? Like, Sancho can go on, to remind people who he is against. Rashford, he's already hit his ceiling, and the only way is down, bro. And he's on the most amount of money. He's going to be the hardest one to move, blood. He's the only one that's got no concrete interest, you know.
No concrete interest, bro.
The only one.
I mean, and that's why, you know, you're seeing, like, you know, with the whole Spanish, that was good PR for him, bro. You know what I mean? To be like, yo, listen, Barca, yo, we're talking about Lamine Yamal here, bro. You know what I mean? But with Barca, they can't even get Nico Williams over the line, bro, let alone Rashford. I don't know what's going on with the Nico Williams situation.
Apparently, they ain't really got the money like that, bro. I'll be honest.
But the thing is, they've agreed personal terms with him. I don't understand what's happened.
Yeah, but they can agree personal terms with him. They need to agree personal terms with the club. They need to pay the money, bro.
Because he has a release clause, though. The thing is, they're not. For me, it was beforehand. It was the problem was his personal terms with players, especially with Nico Williams, because he was on some big wages, isn't it?
Like 250 or something like that.
But the problem is now it's become the opposite, because he has a release clause. So, you know what I mean? They're struggling with that. So they don't really have time to negotiate with Rashford or anyone particular like that. You feel me? So right now, at this current stage, you know what I mean? Bayern Munich, they can acquire what they want here, but them, man, really and truly don't know what day it is. They're after Luis Diaz. And you can't get Luis Diaz. You feel me?
Yeah, but Luis Diaz is on low wages. This is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. That's why they're looking at Diaz. I think Diaz is on under 100k.
Yeah,
so
he is.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Liverpool got sensible wages.
Liverpool want big money, you know. They want big
money.
Yeah,
but they should want big money, and they can get it because Diaz ain't on big money. Do you get what I'm saying? So they can ask for, Liverpool can ask for 80 mil. He's on 55 bags, bro. Like, he's on Garnacho money. Do you see what I'm saying? So if he's on 55k, how we got Antony, Sancho, and Rashford on over 200k, and Diaz is on 55? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we fucked up so badly, and we're paying for it. So
next amount as well.
There you go. So we need to let nature run its course, in it. Like, it's gonna take a while to get rid of these guys because we overpaid them before.
Oh man,
this is what it is. And yeah, Bilbao don't want installments from Barca because they don't need him, because they're rich, bro. They only get players from the area, so it's one of them ones where they don't they don't waste a lot of money on transfer fees so they can afford to pay big wages. So they don't need the money. Bilbao in a situation where it's like, yo, if you don't give us the bread up front, we don't need, we don't need your money. Like, we don't need it. We don't need to give you our player.
No, and why should they?
Yeah.
Why should they? You know what I mean? And listen, I think for Ineos, right? Obviously, they haven't come in this situation here and they haven't sorted out. But I think right now it is a bit of a predicament, though, because now, you know what I mean, you are having to raise some money through sales, isn't it? And the problem is with our sales. Look at Chelsea, for example. Yeah, them man are getting rid of, or they're trying to sell that guy, the left back, some random left back, Viega, bro. Probably Bayern Munich won him.
He's quality,
never really. I mean, it's quality, but I'm just letting you know that. Look at the time span he's been at Chelsea. Yeah, bang, there's already interest from him.
Yeah. He's not been there long. I think he's been there long, one season or something.
Bang, interest gone. Even looking at Koulibaly, big, and he was on big wages, Koulibaly as well. You know.
Yeah, and he went in one season, innit?
You know what I mean? For us as well, yeah, we've got to be able to sell now. When we buy these players here, these players that we bring in here, we've got to sell them within the 2 years. Like if we like this Ugarte now, next year he's got to go.
I think the new regime it will happen. Like it's clear that the manager kind of started to like lose faith in Ugarte because he started playing Casemiro.
He's got to go, man, because you clearly don't rate him. You're clearly not going to use him. You didn't use him for your big final. You didn't use him in the running. So you know what? You got to get rid of him, bro. Simple as that. You know what I mean? And that's got to be 2 years because what you got to do, you got to keep the value. Like, as soon as you start going into your third year, look at Lindelof, bro. No one really came in for Lindelof. Been there 8 years.
Yeah, he had to run down the clock. And the thing is, we renewed his deal when we shouldn't have. But again, like Oli done the same thing with Phil Jones. I think that now we've got people above managers level in the club that are not going to keep renewing these deals. They're not going to do that.
Yeah,
like
you can't, bro.
Barada said, you got 2 years to prove your worth at Manchester United. If you don't prove your worth within the 2 years, you get moved on. This is the way that we need to do it. So, but this is what I'm saying, that we need to give time for these guys to really change the culture, because you can't change the culture, after one summer window. You can't. You still need to be given time to get rid of the Rashfords, the Sanchos, the Antonys, the Garnachos, even Rasmus as well, bro. Like Rasmus Højlund, like the noise is that he wants to stay, but the club want to get rid of him. Do you know what I'm saying? And they don't want to loan as well. They want to get him out. So I believe there's a chance he can go, but United,
they want to sail. They don't want no loan.
They want to sail. I'll take anything, bro.
The thing is, the problem is if you do a loan, there's no guarantee of him like killing it out there. You're kind of stuck in it. You feel me? Like you rather just get rid of the player, bro. And then you know what you do? You kind of put a certain clause in there, bro. If they do well, whatever, in 2 years' time, you can go pick up that player again if you want to. That's just in case you want to. You feel me? If not, then just keep it stepping. But I feel like with me, I think it's for me, it's one of them where we can't do no loans, bro. We got to sell this brother. But then figure out the price. Then knowing that, right, you got to move on now, Højlund. We don't really want you. There's so much kind of like it's the want for the team to go and want him first and say, right, we want your player, we value your player. Inter Milan, they said they wanted him, but then they went for another striker, some black brother from the Serie A. I mean, they went for him. I think he's called Bonnie or something like that, bro. So they went for him instead. You know what I mean? Juve have gone for Thingy. I know it's not a straight deal, but they've gone for a free transfer in there. So he's kind of losing options, really. That's the problem,
bro.
He's losing options, bro. And the Italian league's the only league that would probably suit his game. That's why
that's the only league where he's still got credit in the bank.
Yeah, man. Some sort of credit in the bank, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you come to Man United, bro, the problem is, people really find out, like, how bad you really are, bro, because we put these guys on the front line. You know what I'm saying to you? So when the manager's playing them, you're actually doing more harm than good, you know? Like, you actually say, you know what, I'm not playing this brother. Might give a club and say, you know what, we've not really seen that brother play, you know? We're looking to take a chance on him. But when you start playing him more and more, bro, the value's going down, man. The value's actually going down, bro. Now, real talk, man.
I think that's what Amorim done. Like, I'm starting to think he done that on purpose.
Bro, I don't know. But there was a situation where you could see Hoyland was not performing, bro. You could see like the brother was not doing nothing, but he kept playing him and playing him and playing him. And it's like, bro, man, this is bad, you know, because we're the most watched club in the world, bro.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. Premier League, the most watched. I think we were the most watched team. In like, okay, yeah, we're losing every week, but still, United are still getting chosen for every FA Cup game. We're the first one on TV. Like, it is what it is, bro. And when people see that, they're like, yeah, man, we're not seeing the core principles of his hold-up play. Forget the goals. Like, we're not seeing goals anyway, but we're seeing, this guy can't really control the goal. He's always fighting with people. He's always like, you know what I mean? Like, bro.
But this is the worst thing about it. It's not like he's not scoring goals, Saeed. He's not contributing at all, bro.
Yeah, not contributing at all. And that is the biggest problem for me, man. When you have players that don't really contribute to the team, bro, that's a big issue, bro.
And
big,
Mount is another one.
Hey?
And Mount is another one.
Mount's another one, bro.
He doesn't contribute, blood.
Bro, listen, I think they're old news now, you know. All these players that we're talking about now. Bro, you see Sunderland, them, man, bro. They're going for these players from the French league, bro. Like, these players are old news now, bro. Like, whether you think they're great or not, but right now, they've been shown to be that bad, yeah, and that ineffective, that teams are looking at thinking, you know what, man? This is not value for money. If we buy Mason Mount now, we could go get a better player for cheaper and better, and that can be used the way we want to use him. And that's the problem we've got right now, is that our players are not even attracted. They're not. We can't even see what their qualities are.
Yeah.
They're not attractive, bro. Let's be honest. They're not.
You're right.
They're not, bro.
Right, bro.
Yeah, they're doing the most. They're out here flipping, you know what I mean, doing bad shit on social media, you know what I mean, and all of that, bro. Like, let's be honest, bro.
But this is why the cultural reset is so important, and this is why we have to have a certain amount of patience, because the culture at the club has allowed us to be in the position right now where we've got all of these players here that are on inflated wages. They offer very little and they're hard to move on. That's not the current regime's fault. Do you get what I'm saying? So because it's not their fault, they're having to move within certain parameters also, bro. Because when you look at City have spent like 600 million since January or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 600 M's. Like, we can't do that because of the sins of the past. So, like, it's like we have to be balanced, bro. Like, we have to be balanced. As much as I want to be pissed off here that things are taking time, as long as they get over the line, I'm not really too fussed, man. We signed 5 players in the last window, then we signed 1 in January. Do you know what I mean? If they can get me another 5 players, this window, I see it as a success, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? To get me 4 more. Do you know what I mean? I see it as an exchange, a good window. If you get Mbeumo in, do you know what I'm saying? Really, just get me 2 midfielders and a goalkeeper, I'll be happy. You know them right there, like, or 1 goalkeeper, a striker. Get me a striker, a goalkeeper, a midfielder, plus Mbeumo and Cunha. That's a good window for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. You got to remember, like, we should improve anyway as a team. Like, forget obviously with signings, like, there should be an improvement with the team, because this team is not 15th position. Like, I'm sorry, like, we are only 15th position because of what the tactics was and what we were doing last year in it. So there should be an improvement without signings anyway, regardless. But you're right, like Cunha and Mbeumo, 2 midfielders in a goalkeeper. You should see a reflection in improvement. You should do. I mean, you'll get more goals with Cunha than Mbeumo. The midfield, which has been a problem throughout the whole season, probably last decade, man. Let's be honest, since Fergie left, like, our problem's always been midfield. And then obviously our back line, to be honest with you, that's probably the most confident I'm with. Like, I don't think that was an issue for us last season, even though, like I said, we finished 15th, bro. I didn't really see like a lot of individual errors from Mazraoui, you know what I mean, Delit and Euro. Like, it was more a case of, right, the way we were playing, bro, and the fact that we weren't scoring enough goals. So I think ultimately my only concern is that we need to be getting a move on from Mbeumo. And I think for me,
but I think we're still doing other things, Saeed. I don't think that we're fully just focused on that one deal. Like, that football doesn't really work like that. I believe that we're trying to hash out this Mbeumo deal because they think it's really important that we get him in before preseason. And I think that he gets wrapped up this week.
Paramount, yes.
Yeah, I think he gets wrapped up this week. But I think the other deals are easier to do. Yeah, that's why we're not rushing them, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna the deals that are the most difficult to do are the ones that you prioritize, because the easy deals, you just do them at the end. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think the Mbeumo one is the one where they're almost trying to check off, and then it's like a case of, right, cool, check that one off. That's almost like the two marquee signings of the summer. I mean, even though, like I said to you, you want to get more players, but they're kind of almost like the marquee 10s, because you're significantly improving them 2 10s that you had already. You know what I mean? So it's almost like the 2 players that are going to get us the most goals. We've kind of covered that now. You know what I mean? Like, we've covered that. Right. Let's go and get midfielders in that don't have to be big names, but are equally as effective. You feel me? Like,
Premier League, and at least get a Premier League proven. And if say they get Rios in and they get Luis or something like that, bro, calm, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what it is, bro. Like, I'll be honest, like, that's decent. And then you go get me a striker and we're nice. Like, this is just all it is. I just think that it's so easy, for people to complain. But if you actually look at the situation that we're in, the predicament we're in, Garnacho will move on, and that's 100% profit. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get that money. The Garnacho doesn't stay. After his relationship is completely broken down with the manager.
That's broken.
We know, that we're 100%. Like, even, brother, listen. The club Instagram posted the happy birthday thing. Did you read the comments?
No, I didn't read it.
Brother, they posted a happy birthday thing to Garnacho, and it was some half-hearted happy birthday, brother. Brother, I clicked on the comments. Man said, happy birthday, bro, but leave my club. Next one said, give him a Sancho jersey for his birthday. Next one said, half-hearted post, I respect it. Should have used a picture of him in a Villa shirt. Bro, these men are fed up of Garnacho. He's cooked.
Wow.
Those are just the top 4 fucking comments, bro. Like, these men are done with him. Like, he's gone, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gone. So
he has to.
He's out.
Honestly, made it clear. I think it would be a big indication of, like, that would be a massive disrespect. And listen, we don't rate Amarin, you know what I mean, in terms of his actual management.
It's similar to Sancho and Ten Hag. You know, when the relationship's broken down, there's no way back. That's what it is for Garnacho. He got cooked in his birthday post, bruv, on Instagram. Everyone was cooking him. I didn't see one guy say, "Oh yeah, happy birthday, bro." These man just want him out.
Yeah, I think you know what it is. Yeah, I think it's ultimately it comes down to the fact that, I mean, what he did obviously with that Sevilla shirt was disrespectful, isn't it? Like, whether you can write or what you want, but it was disrespectful. And I think ultimately, the club now need to find a solution, and I think they will, because at the end of the day, he's not wanted, in it. And I still think, for me, United can get some decent money out of him. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I know a lot of people are saying, sell him for whatever. I do believe the market tells you otherwise, that you can get some good money out of him. You know what I mean? Like, and I think then you just got to just move him on. And like I said, bro, he can't. I don't even think he should be even coming to the trade. He should be separate.
Brother, I don't want to see him at preseason. I'll be honest. Like, there's been rumors, and I would absolutely love if preseason starts and Sancho, Garnacho, and Rashford are not there.
Yeah.
I'd love it, because it sends a statement. That's what Motta did. Do you know what I mean? Motta was like, yo, Chiesa, you're not training. Chelsea said that, said to, what's his name? What the fuck? Conor Gallagher. He was like, yo, listen, don't turn up. And if you turn up, you're training with the youths, bro. Like find a club. Like, this is what they did. And I think Man United need to do that. Man United need to say to these guys, bruv, find a club. Don't even bother turning up for preseason. You're not in squad. Like, Jack Grealish is not in Man City's Club World Cup squad. He's just not in it.
No, bro. You have to do it, bro.
Yeah.
You have to send a message, bro. And I mean, exactly. Sterling as well. There's loads of players, bro. You just got to let them know, bro. Like, yo, you're not part of the squad. Simple as that. Like, I don't rate you. I don't want, like, it's just like, it's nothing's personal, bro. You got to move on.
100%. Someone in the chat saying it devalues them. It doesn't devalue them. They're already devalued. They're already devalued, blood. You can't devalue Rashford anymore, bruv. Rashford's on big wages. No one wants to touch him, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? No one wants to touch him. Like, no one. Sancho, has loads of interest, but not on the wages that he's on. But it looks like he's gonna agree. They're saying that he wants to go Juve. Juve want him. I think that's a great move for him.
Yeah.
And him and fucking Yildiz, man, in the same team. And Conceição, hey, bro, listen, I'll be watching that.
Going back, you know,
brother.
I think they've yeah. I think
they're not keeping him.
Yeah, apparently they're sending him back to Porto because they were meant to buy him, innit? I think after the World Cup finishes, I'm sure it is that they're not keeping him.
But I think Yildiz and Sancho in the same team is going to cook, bruv. I'll be real. And that's the perfect move for him, a move to Italy in a league where he can show his qualities, He needs to take a pay cut. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them
Italy. The thing is, I think again, like I said to you, bro, it all I think comes down to the fact that the players got to look at their bonuses, innit? When the wages come in, they're like, yo, okay, cool. What if we reach Champions League football? You're gonna give me this. If I can get you 10 assists, you're gonna give me this. Because at the end of the day, Sancho, whether you rate him or not, like, yo, he could get 10 assists easy in the Serie A. I mean, am I gonna get a bonus here? If we win a cup, am I gonna get a bonus? A lot of these players are all doing this, bro, and they're thinking, okay, cool. Even though we want to be successful, we still don't want to give money out, innit? And you got to remember, in Italy, the prize money ain't the same as the English league. You know what I mean? Or what we're getting in England. Like, it might not be the same, bro. So even though you win trophies and you're still doing well and you're meant to be successful, football doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Like, some people will be getting trophies, but they're not getting the money that they're paying to the wages. They're not. And then you see clubs. That's why you see clubs like Girona. They'll be doing successful, getting to the Champions League, but look at all their players gone, disappeared. Look where they finished the season after. Like, the cost of success sometimes can be also a bad thing.
Look at Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Look at Bournemouth, bro.
Them doing well. Now look at them. They've got to sell all their players, and now they've got to find out. You see what I'm trying to say, bro? So I just think it comes down to the fact that, like, these clubs now, like, fair play Semenyo, he stayed in it. Yeah, I mean, and he's now getting bread because everyone else is left. I think that's smart. You know what I mean? Everyone else is left. I'll take the biggest, highest paid wage for a couple of years, and I'll leave maybe in 2-3 years.
Because he's the main man now. He's Italian.
He's the main man. Yeah, bro. Like, for him, he came from the championship as well, Bristol City. So he's like, yo, listen, I'm living life, bro. So he went for the bag of fair play, bro. You know what I mean? Some people do it, some people don't.
Yeah, but you have to. When a few of the other players leave, it frees up the wages. So you can say, yo, you need to nice me or I'm gone as well, bro.
That's it, bro. He's playing Premier League football, man. Like, it's not the old, like, you know what I don't get in football? Like, I get it, you want to play for a bigger club and that, but still being a Premier League footballer, people underestimate the significance of that as well. Like, not everyone gets to play in the Premier League. Yeah, you want to better your career, but sometimes the grass ain't greener, bro. Thanks. You go into another club for your career, the grass ain't greener. So you've got to sometimes kind of like temper your expectations and what you really are. If you're mashing it up as well, look at Eze. Like, he's in the Europa League with
Eze. I could see him staying and getting a pay rise again.
Yeah,
I can see it. Like, if
you can see it.
If it doesn't work out, because I think that Tottenham's more realistic than Arsenal, personally. I think Tottenham want him and Kudus, because they wanted Semenyo, but Semenyo's just signed a new deal. I believe that Spurs are going to, brother, they're going to shell out because they've just got a new manager and they're going to have to, at least the optics with Champions League football, they have to look like they're backing him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna bring in a couple ballers, like that get the needle moving a little bit. You'd think that they are.
You'd think,
so,
yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, bro. Listen, you like, I was watching Expression's video just before, man. I was like, yo, you can't be in the Champions League and moving like that, bro. You can't. Like, you know what I mean?
Unless
bro?
you're
like,
Levy, you can.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying with Daddy Levy. That's the crazy thing. This guy, his brother, has got Kendrick Lamar play, Chris Brown, all of these concerts, Beyonce, and this brother ain't willing to spend money. You know, like, what's going on?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's got that money going in a different account, to the football account. You know them ones. The man just got that money over there, bro. I'll be real. Yeah, man's got the football money in one account and the concert and boxing money in the other account. I swear down, bro. I reckon that's what them man are doing, fam. Because we're not seeing this money, bro. Man, Anthony Joshua selling out the stadium and them things there.
Everyone,
we're not seeing that money nowhere. The players are on shit wages. Son was on 190.
190, for the service he's brought in.
Bro. And Son, hey, these man are these players are getting fleeced. It's a different account, bro. He's running fraud, blood. I'm telling you this, bro. He is. Has to be. Because, bro, they should have the best PSR. They should.
They should do. They should
Their
do, really.
PSR should be better than City's, and it should be better than Liverpool's, and it should be better than Chelsea's based on the money that they bring in outside of football, bro. Yeah. So why are they not at the top of the PSR? It's a different account, Saeed. I swear down. It has to.
It has to be
a different account.
Their stadium is absolutely unbelievable. They play women's football. They play NFL.
But NFL, bro, look at all that bread that other men don't have access to. Come on.
Nah, it's ridiculous. When you keep it,
That's an
that guy, man. Bro. I don't know what's going on, bro.
That money's going to the Cayman Islands, bro. I'm telling you, that's where it's going. I swear down. This is bro, that's not here.
That's mad, when you deep it, bro. Like it's actually insane, when you put it like that, and it's like all that money there, they should be spending money, bro. You know what I mean? They should be spending peas, bro. You know what I mean? But they don't for some reason, and then they expect why they're not getting certain. You know what I mean? Where it should be really like look that gap between Arsenal and Tottenham should be closer. I'm baffled. I really am baffled, like as to why that gap is so big. Like, you know what I mean? United and City, we can say that City have got an abundance of money, but Tottenham do have an abundance of money. They've got revenue. They're in a nice position right now. The gap shouldn't be big, bro. It's crazy. No, it's absolutely mad. But like I said, bro, with the market right now, it is a funny market, though. I'll be real with you, man. I've never seen so many teams and I get it, it's PSR. It's become a problem. But then again, you see in Aston Villa, they're selling their women's team and that. But you can tell, though, people are kind of scared to make the move, knowing that they might regret the transfer. You can see, like,
teams are not taking risks now. They're not.
Nah, there's no risk signings anymore now, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even Chelsea, people might say Chelsea are doing what they do, but they're good at flipping money anyway. They're gonna sell their players anyway. So
Chelsea bring in players and they sell them within 18 months most of the time. They're selling players they just bought.
You feel me? Like I generally think the way, like, even you look at it across Europe now, everyone's really like very scared to kind of make, because if you make that bad move, someone else make them good move, and then boom, you're finished. You know what I mean? And now people are waiting for contracts to actually end now. Like end, bro.
But that was always gonna happen. Like with the transfer fees inflating, there was always gonna be a trend of players running down their contracts now because clubs are pricing players out of moves.
Yes, and also now as well, release clauses.
This is why we're stuck with Rashford, by the way. This is why. Rashford goes on loan. We don't get money for Rashford, bro. Like, we don't, because teams know that they don't have to buy players no more. They know that they can wait for them to run down their contract.
Get it, man. Because you know what we're gonna hear though. Oh, look at Rashford, man. We loaned him out. Look at this. Like, I'm sick of it, bro. I'd rather, listen, go enjoy Rashford. Go enjoy whoever. It's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that brother has had time, ample amount of time in this. He's been given the keys of Manchester. He's been given man born and bred. He's been given everything. He's played with every single player you can think of. Pogba, Ronaldo, Bruno, Zlatan, Wayne Rooney. He's played with everyone, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's been given the freedom. Every rebuild, everything what you want to. He's been there. People have had to sacrifice. Weghorst sacrifice. Everyone sacrificed for this brother, man. But then for some reason, it's like, we're the problem. Or if you don't rate him, you're the problem. Get out there, man. Seriously, man, I'm sick of it, bro. I really am. And this is for everyone. I don't have no loyalties to nobody, bro. If you don't perform, that's it. We move on. Simple as that now, man. We need to get back to at least minimum top 6. I know other people have said whatever. For me, I'm looking at getting into Europe next year and having a very, very good season. I really am not here for no mess about this season, bro. So we have to have players that are ready, not only to get stuck in and start playing the way the manager wants, but equally the manager's got to get playing the way we as fans demand. You feel me? So there's a lot to do, man, and there ain't no time for no passengers, man.
But this is why, Saeed, I'm being patient, but because we're doing Prem proven, which means we don't have. It's not like we're waiting for players to come in and they're gonna need to settle and all of that. All the players we've been linked with, for the most part, are players that come straight in, don't need coaching. Don't need to adapt. They come in and they just deliver. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is why I'm not really worried about how long these deals are taking, Saeed, because we're not bringing in players that we need to blood into the team. Like, if you bring in a Mbeumo, He comes straight in and he does what he's doing. You know them ones. Like if you bring in a Douglas Luiz,
when would you be worried then? When would you be worried? Give me a time frame.
To be honest, I'm not worried, Saeed. Like based on
mid-July, let's say for example, we got
Saeed, I have to be honest, yeah. Like I've got no reason, yeah. From what I've seen from these guys, I've got zero reason to be worried because last season they got me summer, they got me 5 players and 4 of them I liked. Do you know what I'm saying? In January, they got us Dorgu because this manager wanted a left wing back. I was happy with Malacia. I don't think that Dorgu's better than Malacia football-wise, but I think he's more athletic than Malacia. So whatever on the manager. If these guys get me 5 players again, yeah, and out of all the players we've been linked with, there's not really any players where I'm like, I absolutely would not want them at Man United by any means. They've done way more good in the transfer market than they've done bad. The only question mark is Ugarte for me. I believe Dorgu has talent. I believe that there's a player in there. And he only costs 30 odd mil anyway. So I'm not worried about Dorgu. I think he's the wrong person. Do you know what I'm saying? So based on what they've shown me that they can do, based on the names we're being linked with, based on the fact that I've always said I trust Jason Wilcox, he's the real football man at the club and they've promoted him. So I have even more faith in these guys that they will do what is required, bro. I believe we get at least 5 players in, 4 more. And I believe that we'll get out of them 5 players, we'll get at least 4 of them in before the season starts. I think the striker might come in late and it might be GYOKERES. GYOKERES might come in after the season's already started because I don't think he's moving anywhere soon. I think Sporting are probably going to buy his replacement before they sell him and the argument's going to fucking, you know how it goes.
Yeah, no, I
and
agree.
Then right at the end of the window, it happens. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think we get a midfielder in, at least. Do you know what I'm saying? And Mbeumo in the next 2 weeks. I think Mbeumo, what day are we in? Wednesday. I think Mbeumo lands before Monday. So before Monday. Yeah, I think he lands before.
Well, they said this week medical, so we're hoping that it's done over the weekend. You feel me?
Yeah. I'm not remotely worried, Said.
My thing is, I don't think it's my. But listen here, I've got actual evidence to back it up that I can be worried because there's a lot to do in a short space of time, and you can say. You know what I mean?
We've got a whole month, Saeed. Like preseason,
we never.
Saeed, no, but Saeed, we don't get.
Yes or no?
Saeed, when have we ever got all of our business done before preseason? Name me a season.
But that's what we should be doing, though.
No, because we're struggling to get rid of players because of the regime before, and we can't just go and buy these guys, and then sell after. We don't have the finances for it, so we have to be patient, bro. We have to be.
Listen, for me. Listen, I get the patience thing. I understand it. I just need to be moving on from Mbeumo. Once we've moved on from Mbeumo, I think maybe then the floodgates will open and we can then start doing it. Unless that is not done yet, which by the way, I'm confident it's going to happen. My thing is we need to move on because there's a lot to get done. I hear it, midfielders, goalkeeper, and then the sales as well. So for me, it's not about like panicking. It's that we need to just get shit done. And we finished 15th, man. We've got a manager that we don't really rate. So it's about getting players in that will suit whatever he needs. And then we get the job done and we get them into preseason. They coexist. They get together. They blend. And then there's no excuses. Because I don't want to be hearing rants, excuses at the start of the season. But they didn't have time to blend in. You know what? Preseason was a bit of a stressful one.
But this is what I'm saying to you, Saeed, because we're signing Prem-proven players, and it's going to be individual brilliance anyway. I don't care about the preseason. The preseason is just a waste of time. I don't trust Ruben Amorim.
No.
I don't trust. I don't trust Ruben Amorim as a coach here to be able to turn us into anything. I'm relying on the players doing it themselves anyway. So just get me the players.
That's
look, he had the whole season on the training ground and done fuck all. Yeah, he didn't win 2 games in a row. So what are we relying on this scrub for?
But the excuse was, what we've been hearing is that he didn't have his preseason, so therefore we need a preseason.
Brother, and even he had more training sessions in the season than he could have ever had in preseason, and he still died.
But the thing is, the one thing I would give him, that he was kind of almost working with 2 competitions, and it was a case of like pressure was on, And I feel like in that moment,
but he wasn't rotating, Saeed.
Yeah, no, he wasn't rotating. He was doing the bad things, you get me? But I think the pressure was like almost like he was there. His mind was present, but his body wasn't. You know what I mean? Like that kind of feeling. Whereas now, it should be a relaxed format where, I've got all the players here now. There ain't no games. I've got one-to-one individual plans, whatever, cool. I have got these guys and there are no distractions. That's where I think for me it comes down to. There's no distractions. You've got whole preseason. You numb it down to these players. You say, right, this is what we want. This is how we're playing. And I want these repeated patterns.
Why couldn't he do that in the season, Saeed?
Because I just don't think there was enough time, or there was the pressure, or was more like get results.
Saeed. Nothing to do
listen,
with
for me,
time.
listen, there should be time. But
it wasn't just get results. Because if it was just get results, why did he persevere, playing a system that
because he was confused, man. He was confused.
The players, he knew that the players didn't understand it. If he just cared about results, he would have reverted to a system that he knew they were comfortable with. He was happy to lose, bro. He said we could get relegated in one of his first press conferences.
Yeah. But
so the thing is, he was happy to lose, bro.
I don't think he
lost because he's incompetent. It's not because he didn't have enough time, Saeed.
I just don't think he was stable, man. Like mentally, he wasn't stable at that time. I'll be real with you. Like,
why is preseason going to change that though?
Because I feel like then he's like I'm saying for him, I feel like that break is probably going to need, and he's going to now be a bit more refreshed and a bit more kind of like I don't have to speak to the media on. He now then thinks
he's going to have to speak to the media. As soon as preseason starts, we're going on tour to another country and he's going to be back to media proceedings, bro. This is Manchester fucking United. You might as well be the prime minister, bro. Like, it is what it is, bro. You get more more airtime than the prime minister of this country. There's a lot of people that might not even know who the fucking prime minister is right now. Do you know what I mean? They don't know who the PM is. They know who Man United manager is. So I ain't even trying to hear none of that, bro. Listen, if you're not up to the duties of the game, you shouldn't be here, bro. Like, do us all a favor and resign, bro, because we don't have time for this.
Bro, listen, he ain't resigning until Ineos sack him. You know what I mean? And that right there, by the way, that right there is another thing that why you shouldn't trust Ineos, is that they have kept a manager that shouldn't be there. Let's be honest. They've kept a manager that really and truly should not be here right now managing Man United. But they've done it. It's cool. We know what we're going to do, because we've just accepted the situation. We're going to now assume that the players that he gets will just uplift the quality anyway, regardless of coaching. That's where we're at.
But Saeed, but this is what I'm saying. Listen, Ineos, what Ineos are doing is, what they are doing, and which, as much as I would have sacked him, I understand what they're doing, because
they're trying to give him,
they're trying to say, like, I'm giving you every possible opportunity to be successful. So if you're not successful, you can't turn around and say it was us. You know, like that. I'm going to give you every bit of rope you can. And if you still hang yourself, that is your business. Because at the end of the day, think about it. Because Amorim easily could come into Manchester United, fail the way he's failed, get sacked at the end of the season, blame the players, blame the owners, and say, like, I asked for 5 players in January, even if he didn't, and I didn't get it. Do you know what I mean? They told me this and this, that, and the other, bro, because he could easily come out, make bare excuses. Do you know what I'm saying? Say that, they told me I needed to come. They said I was going to get signings. I didn't get signings. I wasn't backed. He could use that excuse. He can't use that excuse now.
No, I agree. But the thing
is, what I'm saying?
I don't need to get to there, though, Rants, though. I don't think we should get to there. I don't think it should be a case of, like, man will tell you, let me show you, man. I want to prove it to you, man. Bro, you need to prove nothing. I've seen enough. You need to prove nothing to me. There should be a ruthless nature where you, my friend, got beat by Tottenham. You finished 15th. You must be sacked. Take it out of the fans' control.
I agree, Paul.
You get me, bro?
Until you clear your decks, until you get rid of the Rashfords, the Sanchos, the Garnachos,
I agree, Paul.
It's going to be tough for any manager. You're right. Yeah. But there's degrees to toughness. The manager has made it way tougher for himself.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
he
hasn't done the simple things, bro. Like, he's abandoned all the basics.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? When you learn how to play football, you don't start with a bicycle kick. You know them ones there. Man learn basic things like kicking the ball against the wall and then controlling it. You know what I'm saying? Man's trying to do overhead kicks and you can't control a pass off the wall.
I do think he did too much though at the start. Like, I'm not saying get rid of these players, but I reckon if you'd have just kind of gone and said, you know what can we do? How can we get the best out of you, etc., etc., and then worked with it at the end of the season, he would have maybe found himself in a better position. Maybe. Listen, I'm not saying keep the players there. I'm not. I want them sold, yeah. But for your own benefit, would it have been better to create enemies at the start? I don't know. Maybe it's better because a storm then gets a bit,
but
it increases. You know what I mean, bro? It's like
I know what you're saying, Saeed, but you know what it is? I feel like people are giving, because United's previous regime has been so bad, I think people are not being harsh enough here on Ruben Amorim. And the truth is, it's the same with last season. Pep Guardiola, if his name wasn't Pep Guardiola, he would have been getting shredded to bits, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like nearly not finishing in the top 4, losing a cup final. He would be getting absolutely caned in it. And I feel like he's got loads of grace because of what he's done previously. But at the same time, in football, you still need to realistically assess the performance. And when you assess what Pep done last year, it was awful. Like, not just for his standard.
Of course.
But for any manager that we're calling an elite manager, bro, if it was anyone else, we're saying that, yo, my man, this is sackable form you're in right now. When you look at Ruben Amorim, for instance, the brother came in at the beginning, The reason why I can't give him any excuses is because he came in and one of his first interviews, he said, listen, we don't have the possibilities to bring in loads of players. He understood. He fully understood that in January, you was only going to get a one player. You said you wanted your wing back. We tried to get you Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes didn't want to come. So we went down the list and we got you Dorgu because you identified that position as the one position you needed to strengthen. You identified that. So this is where we went. So because you knew we couldn't get these players, you should have had a plan B for when shit was going sideways. You didn't have a plan B. And you nearly relegated us. So if you had lost your job off the back of that, you could have had no arguments. Do you know what I'm saying? But Ineos, they've said, listen, we understand that there's bigger problems at the club now than you. And we know we're going to have problems no matter who comes in because the squad is imbalanced and we've got players on wages. So we're going to trust you as the manager, to oversee the clear out. But once we do these signings this window, if he doesn't perform, he can then go. He might just be the sacrificial lamb moving forward. And the next manager might be the one to take us back to Europe. Who knows? He might be the guy who needs to get sacrificed.
But then again, I'm not going to lie to you. I wouldn't even really sack him next season. I'd just give him the whole season because I feel like sacking him.
I wouldn't. You know why I wouldn't give him the whole season, bro? Because if you sack him with one game a week, one thing that we've seen in this Premier League, for multiple years, if you go on a run, you can just end up in the top 4, bro. Like
you can.
We've seen it with Newcastle, we've seen it with Villa, we've seen it with Forest. Bro, look at what Bournemouth were doing before Bournemouth fell off, in the middle of the season, bro. Man, we're looking at Bournemouth like, whoa, like, what are you gonna do? And then they kind of just started tumbling. In the Premier League, if you go on a run of like 6 wins out of 7, bro, no matter where you are, all of a sudden it's like you're knocking on that Champions League door, because everyone's beating everyone.
Yeah.
So
I would
sack the manager, bro. If the first 10 games, they're not good enough, I would 100% sack the manager because, bruv, look at Chelsea, bro. Last season, they were on a shit run. Look at how they finished the season, and then they ended up in the top 4, bro. At one point, it looked like they weren't making it.
It's actually not difficult to finish top 4.
You just need to be consistent. That's it, bro. Like, you don't even need to be consistently excellent. You just have to be consistent. Arsenal were consistent. As much as they drew loads of games, they were consistent because they didn't lose.
Yeah.
And they still ended up where they ended up.
5 to 10 games in a row. If you win between that, because I think Newcastle went on a 6-game winning streak or something like that. Like, it went on a mad run. And I feel like that's all it took, for them to go to that level. And that's what it was, bro, And I feel like that's all you need. You need at least 5 to 7 games to win them. You win them, bro, that's ridiculous, man. And then all of a sudden, you put up a kind of like a consistency that people around you are shook. They're like, right, if we lose this game here, the other teams won. It kind of puts a bit of fear into other teams. But I hear you, man. I hear you. Like, you don't need to be that that great to get top 4. You don't.
You just need to be you just need to be consistent, Saeed, because it's turmoil everywhere. So when you look at Man City, yeah, like Man City managed to have a really bad spell and still finished like only a few points behind Arsenal because Arsenal drew a load of games. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, so when City were losing, Arsenal were drawing, and at the end of the day, yeah, like sometimes draws can kill you. So like you just need a consistent run. So for me, if in the first 10 games, yeah, the manager doesn't get at least 7 wins out of the first 10, yeah, bruv, get rid of him. We can't be winning one, losing one, winning one, losing one. Who the fuck are we, Brighton? Like, do you know what I mean?
No chance, bro. I said already, man. We lose 2 games in the first 5. He's cooked.
Yeah, bro, agreed. Bro, out of them first 5 games, yeah, like, I don't want more than 1 loss in them first 5 games. If there's more than 1 loss in them first 5 games, I'm already looking to replace this guy in.
Bro, real talk, man. It's true. Like, especially when you look at, because I'm still looking at back at the losses last season, because you've got to make a run here of you beat Aston Villa now, right? You're moving on. So I want to see that winning streak kind of like continuing, bro. As much as you say, yeah, it's a new season, but really and truly, it's a continuation of last season and the way the Premier League.
Agreed. It's not a new season for him. Hell,
it's not a new season for him. Yeah,
yeah, he don't get a clean slate. Hell no.
No. It ain't because the mindset is that we have been a losing team, bro. That's what the mindset has been right now.
We got Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Arsenal at home, yeah, like draw minimum.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be losing that. Do you know what I mean? Last season we played them twice. We won 1, drew 1, and lost 1. So
I agree.
Bro, win or draw at home. You know them ones. Like, this is what Man United used to do, bro. At home against your rivals, don't lose. That used to be the mantra, bro. Like, if we can get the win, great. Don't fucking lose, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? Chelsea as well. Don't fucking lose.
Yeah.
Man City, I think we beat them twice last season.
Chelsea, we don't lose to anyway, so that shouldn't be a loss.
Brother, Man City. No, and the first 5 is we don't have Liverpool. We got fucking Fulham, Burnley, Chelsea,
Fulham,
Arsenal, and I think Man City. Man City, we beat twice last season. Arsenal, we beat last season and drew with. Like Fulham and Burnley, we should be beaten anyway. You know what I'm saying? And one of them bigger teams, we need to beat them, bro. We need to beat our Arsenal. We need to beat a Chelsea. Or we need to beat a City. We have to, bro. Like, I don't care. And at very least, yeah, shouldn't be losing, bro.
I agree.
Shouldn't be losing.
I agree. I fully agree with you, bro. I'm in agreement. I think that's what should be the plan. Like, we shouldn't be losing. You know what I mean? Like, real talk, bro. Like,
and we drew against Liverpool last season, bro. No excuses.
Yeah, no excuses, man. No excuses, really. Yeah. Like, this is the key test, bro. Like, for me, it's like United at the minute right now, bro. Get the players in, and then it's showtime, bro. It ain't no, give it time and that.
Yeah, there's no easing in, bro.
Looking to lock in and really get into that top 6, whatever. Like, be a serious team, bro. At least if you're top 6 here, you're consistent at least, bro, to a degree. You know what I mean? You're not like going mad 10th, 11th, 12th, but that's long, man. Get into that top 6, get a bit respectable, get into your Europa League or whatever it is. And then if you feel like then you can chase top 5, 4, then we're in there as well. So like top 6, like I said, Aston Villa finished 6th. Were their 6th best team? No. They were at one point 3rd. You know what I mean? So you're challenging at least for the Champions League positions, bro. You should be.
Have to be. Do you know what I'm saying? I agree. 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. Or even 3 wins and 2 draws, bro. I want 3 wins out of the first 5 games. I don't care who they come against, but Fulham and Burnley, those should be 3 points, and then we need to take 3 points off one of the bigger teams, bro. Like we have to. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I'm not here for giving Ruben Amorim any more rope, bruv, because he used up all the rope last season.
Brother, rope's finished, man.
Yeah, bro,
rope's class, bro. Rope's worn out now.
100%. You lot, make sure you get the likes up. Saeed TV link is in the title. Obviously, if you haven't subbed already, make sure you do that. We're heading over there now for Man Them Talk. So we're going to continue the United conversations. Big up everyone inside. Get the likes up. Over 2K. We need to hit 500 likes. You man are slacking. I'll be real. So get these likes up. Big up everyone as well supporting the Clips channel. Hit 12K yesterday. Yeah, we're moving, guys. Saeed, let them know what we got coming up.
Yeah, man, them top people. You know the score, man. We're going to be live right now, continue the conversation and that. And yeah, man, just continue to support both channels, you get me? And yeah, man, hopefully, like I said to you, man, we're gearing up towards the season, man. Not long left, man. So big up everyone in the building.
100%. So yeah, big up everyone. Drop a Rants read in the chat. And yeah, we go again on Saeed TV.